Well, here's a young woman that could be an inspiration for all of us. I mean, she's a recent immigrant from the Philippines, only here a year, and her husband decided to start a business, and they saved some money to live on while they started a business, but they had no money for extras. You know, money for like to get even a television set. They like to sit home and watch movies and they didn't have a television set. Or money for the kids, you know, like back to school supplies or something like that. And so what they did is use Yankee ingenuity, you know, that old thing that we always hear about America, you know, inventing stuff out of need. Well, that's what they did. And they opened up a website where their friends could contribute to the need that they have, you know, for the television set and the kids go back to school and things like that. And they got all they needed. And so what they did is start a website so everybody could get something like that, you know, and not only have their friends and relatives or whatever contribute when they really needed something, but also strangers if they felt so inclined, you know. And it's called Chip and Ship. So you chip in and it's shipped to the people, you know, and it's cool. But most importantly, I think what's neat about this interview is that the person involved, I mean, how they took it upon themselves to create their own opportunity, you know, and they did it for next to nothing on the internet. They knew a little about building a website on the internet, but it wasn't much, and it wasn't much involved. You know, it's you know, so many bells and whistles. It takes, you know, 100 IT people from Silicon Valley or whatever. No, they're somewhere in Texas or whatever doing this stuff, and that's what, see, the tools that are out there, I believe, in our society make that possible for us to solve our own problems or whatever. But you have to start learning these tools, you know, and they're not that complicated, you know. I mean, an old fart like me could learn them, and I'm still learning them. We all do every day. You know, it's no magic in the world. It just takes the effort involved, and that's what's so interesting to me about immigrants. Like my grandparents who came to this country, man, they worked like the devil, you know, for their kids and to kids to get on and have a better life than they did in Eastern Europe and stuff like that. And so that's what this country is all about, but we've lost some of that. You know, I guess we got a little fat and happy or something. So that's why I think the new immigrants have that to teach us, because they still believe in the American dream. Anybody can do it. It's getting knocked out of most of the rest of us, and so we don't do it. So watch them. Get inspired to do something. Well, Mona Raja, man, you've been in this country for like less than a year, and now you have one of the hottest, you know, crowdfunding websites in the country. Man, I don't know how you do this. How do you understand our culture so well that we love shopping? And now you have a website that even helps other people love shopping too. And also help people shopping. And it seems like you could do this for anything. I mean, you know, you could do it for important causes, like, and the site is Chip N, the letter N, Ship, S-H-I-P, so CHIPNSHIP.com. Yeah, and so other people could chip in. Wow. Maybe you could speak English better than I can here. You know, chip in to get things that people need, that people want, or gifts, or wedding gifts. Your community needs something, and you say, hey, let's chip in and get this for the community, right? Yeah. And your website would be that. Or, hey, let's chip this in and chip in and get something for this family who's in need. And we could do this on your website. And it's all taken care of, and you're hooked up with Amazon and all kinds of stuff. But you did this because of a personal need, didn't you?
Yeah, that's right. So it actually started when we decided, just this June, we decided to work on our startup. And to work on a startup, we have to dedicate ourselves to it 100% of our time. So we had no jobs.
The American way.
We had no source of income. We do have savings for our basic needs, and it could last up to a year. But beyond that, we just have no money for other stuff.
Oh,
and back then, we just got married, and we didn't have a television set.
Oh!
And we really want watching movies, so we want to buy TV, but we can't afford it. So we mentioned it to our friends and to our families, and good news is they're so willing to share.
Ah,
Well, the problem is we try to find something we can use online so that
mm-hmm.
it will make it easier for
I
them to
see.
share. But there was not something that is simple enough,
Yeah,
and they are not too technical, especially our
I see.
families.
Right.
So instead, we decided to build it.
Wow. Oh,
Yeah.
you've become American already. You see something you need and you build it, right?
Yeah. That's kind of our motto. Like we are the alternative to limitations. So if there's nothing, so we make it.
Make it. Oh, well, that's terrific. And you know, and you know, as you say, you know, gifting or chipping in. I mean, I think it's a basic human need. We all want to help each other, and what you're doing is making it easier for other people who love you or even don't love you, think you have a good idea, to try to help each other, and without going like, you know, to United Way and giving them $100 and maybe you get $1 of it, you know, that you can give directly, and do this through your website, and it even could be like for wedding gifts and all kinds of things, and so it just came out of need. Actually, you said you used it again for yourself because your daughter's going to school, right? And you needed
Yeah.
what?
Yeah. Well, when we released the beta version on
Uh-huh.
August 1, it's also back to school time,
Ah,
almost at
right.
that time. And instead of the TV, I wish for the back to school supplies because it's around $50.
Right.
But for us that time
Yeah.
it's really something that's expensive, and that we can help, we can use some help from friends,
Hmm.
and
Wow,
it
well,
was
that's
granted.
wonderful. No, I mean, $50 is a lot of people. That's why I think your website is so important. You know, is that, you know, to people who have higher incomes, it may not sound like anything, but man, it stops a child from feeling important in school. That's a $50 that's better spent on some dinner, you know, you're going to have. And you're saving money because you have to, well, you want your business and you're investing in the future, so you don't have a lot of that extra money. Man, you're a better American than we are. Here in America, we think you know, future is no problem, but you're wiser than we are. It seems maybe
Thank
it's
you.
that's what I feel. The immigrants in this country are a little wiser. They realize that, you know, there may not be help around, and they have to plan for a rainy day.
That's heartwarming.
Right. That's hardwired. And so now you and your husband run the site, right? Are both IT people, you know,
Yeah.
right? And so you do it all yourself. You've only been in business, what, 4, 5, 6 weeks or something like that. It looks terrific. You know, you go on there, you see things. People want a cell phone. You know, people want to go, what they want to go fishing. One guy wants a fishing. I mean, all kinds of people want things for their anniversary, but also it is cool, I think, for, you know, communities to gather together. I mean, you belong to a club and say, hey, let's raise money for this family over there so we could go on your site. And then it makes it easier for people even outside that you don't know to contribute to that important problem that you're trying to solve, right?
Yeah.
And, and sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, actually, we have. I have been browsing for at Donors Choose, and I
Uh,
have seen teachers there asking for donations for school supplies, and I
mm,
was touched that I just hope that they our product Chip and Ship could reach them because it's
yes,
much visually appealing. People will know that if they need some materials like books,
yes,
it's there.
right.
It's actually the book that is being given to the teacher. So I just hope it could go to that level that it will really help our mostly our teachers.
Right now, I mean, well, I mean, to me, there's nothing more important in this country than teachers. Taking care of the people who are going to run this country in the future is more important than anything else we have. You know, why we go on cruises? You know, when kids don't have books in school. I mean, that's just stupid. You know? We got to solve first things first. Then you take a vacation or whatever. But we got so many important things, and it's harder to compete in the world, and but more importantly, I think what's so nice what you're doing is we've we all have a human nature to give, and there has to be an easy way to do it and a comfortable way to give to each other, and that's what you're doing, because is providing a platform where people can really give to each other, whether you know them or not, or reach out, and find a problem so other people can join you in giving, to solve a problem in your community. And there's no better cohesion for a community, I think, than working together on a problem, and you're providing the rest of the world an opportunity to do that, so they could enjoy the joy of giving. Nothing better in the world to give. That's why I think giving is selfish, because it feels so good. So you're making people more selfish because they'll feel so good when they give, right? So you got one of the most selfish sites on the internet, and you go to chip, CHIPN, the letter N, CHIPNSHIP.com, right? And that's where we find your lovely handwork there, and how to get involved in this, how to use it. It's a tool that's important for our society, right? Thank you for doing this for us.
You're welcome. I hope it become really useful and it can reach out more people.
Well, just takes effort.
Best.
We'll try to get more people to know about it. Thank you, Mona. And at chipandship.com.
Yeah.
Yeah.